Hello everyone, it's me Varus, and in this video, I'm going to give you a full update on the nation's weather, such as temperature, forecast, future storminess, and more, and a look at the long range as well in this video. So let's get right into it. So right now I have the alerts pulled up, and just taking a look at the screen, we have heat advisories in Texas and excessive heat warnings in Texas, red flag warnings and fire-related watches, as well as flood watches and warnings over here in the western U.S., and flood warnings and some severe indices down here on the southeastern coastline. So getting into what's to come for the U.S., let's start out with the 12Z. Let's just go through it. Let's just go through it. So right now it's been relatively quiet. I mean, you had some showers up here in the Dakotas, over here in extreme northeastern areas of Maine, or overall just Maine, northern areas of New Hampshire, Vermont, which has actually been bringing grapple because of such cold aloft temperatures. You know what? Let's see if we can even take a sounding, and we can see that. I mean, the freezing layers with any heavier storms are around 750 millibars. So if those storms are really heavy and it's very cold over there, especially in the higher elevations, some grapple, small hail, and grains are coming down, which is pretty interesting, especially yesterday where it was happening the most. Besides that, nothing much. Storminess in the Florida area, not too unusual for this time of year. Now, getting kind of into next week, let's start over next early week. Our cold front or trough here starts to move out, and it starts to moderate a little in temperatures, and it gets much cooler over here in the west as the trough is swinging by over here in the Pacific Northwest, and this will actually cause first snows of the season for many of the higher elevations of the Rocky Mountains. So let's continue this, and I mean, there you have it, kind of right there. So actually it happens earlier, right here. Here, let's stop it right there. Right here is where you get them. Okay, you have snow all the way up here. Very, very hard to see. But overall, I'll show you guys on the accumulation map. But this weekend is where we could see some snowfall opportunities in the higher elevations of the Pacific Northwest and Rockies. Now let's just take this to the end. As we continue, because before that, I mean, it's relatively quiet. There's nothing much. Some storminess in the Northeast at times. Um, Storms in the central U.S., but honestly, it's just not that active or not that much to talk about. Now, taking it over here, we do see some storminess over here and storminess in the Northeast. This only goes out to 46 hours, so let's go to the 6Z and see anything. So this is where it starts getting really unreliable, okay? But, I mean, it doesn't look as of much, but you do see up here, look at the areas of Canada 540 lines starting to try to sneak down. So that's pretty interesting, okay? That's really interesting. Lots of people have been talking about cooler temperatures and how we might get into a cooler start of winter. That's so far out, okay, and mainly for entertainment, but I mean, look at that. 540 line, very close to areas of Maine. So overall, the U.S. stays quiet. But I'm trying to focus on the U.S. weather today. But something that does catch my eye, and so does yours most likely, we have tropical activity. One storm down here that's kind of moving in this direction, and then another storm over Cuba trying to also sneak its way into the Gulf. And let's just go fully out. And I mean, there you have it. One little almost major hurricane. Let's recircle this. One almost major hurricane over here in the western Gulf, and then a little area of a solid hurricane, Cat 1, Cat 2 strength over Cuba. So tropics will become active. But as of the direct mainland U.S.'s weather, nothing much. Now, more of a kind of topic is the temperatures. Okay, that's where we'll find a little more interest. And so starting out right now, cooler temperatures. We have a pattern that's kind of like ridge here, and it's a nice trough, bringing such nice, cool, and very, very pleasant temperatures for the central and northeastern U.S., central and eastern U.S. overall. And then some cooler temperatures in the Pacific Northwest, while heat in the desert Southwest and overall in between. So as we continue this, we see that this cooler air actually starts dying out, okay? This cooler air starts kind of shallowing out. Warmer air does make a return. And you see the cold air returning for the west. This is what we call a negative PNA, which brings cooler temperatures to the west, warmer to the east. And then if it's a positive PNA, we get warmer to the west and cooler to the east. So this is where we start to get a negative PNA. And I mean, it stays for a while, but then getting into like middle of next week, we see the heat actually start to build in the east. So enjoy what we have right now, because it's only going to get warmer from there as of right now. And you see that warmer temperatures honestly return for the east and the western US, which is some weak cold blast trying to get into the north central and areas of the central US. Now, as we can, I'm using the European ensembles, and so this gives us a little more of an accurate everyone's thoughts. Now this is still far out, but overall you just see heat continues in the east, heat arises even further in the west, and overall we just see heat in the eastern and western US and kind of bleeding into the central US with cooler temperatures kind of in the north central areas of the US. So overall that's what it looks like to be the theme. So to sum it all up, eastern US warms up, western US gets a brief cold blast but also warms up, and then some weaker cold shots for the north central US. This is from the European ensemble. Now, getting into a little bit of a longer range look. Now, this is kind of winter talk, some fall talk. Um, our polar vortex is building, okay? We are exiting summer, as you guys all know. We are getting closer towards winter, obviously. We're not there yet, but we're getting closer. And so that's where we have our vortex building in this area. Okay, we have lots of blocking and polar vortex it's getting colder over here in Siberia and areas over well up near the poles. What this is doing is causing more snow and our snowpack to start building. You can see that here we'll just take it all the way to the end. You see our snowpack building in Greenland, areas of Siberia, even bleeding into Canada. And I mean, even if you take a look here, it'll be very hard to see, but there's actually a couple specks. I'll highlight it in my blue. Couple specks of snow right in these little areas in the northwestern US, which is also pretty interesting. This is kind of with this trough that we're going to be diving through. But this snowpack, as it continues building, will cause cooler and cooler and cooler temperatures. And as we get deeper in the fall, more extreme colder blasts will eventually start entering the US. And that's where we have to watch out for first frosts, freezes, and even snows in all these areas. So I just want to show you the building snowpack and the excitement as a winter weather lover, the excitement to start building as our snowpack is building and we're getting closer and closer to winter. Now let's take a look at the El Nino, La Nina, ENSO update. We're still in a La Nina. A current value is negative 2.69. Let's refresh it. Yeah, negative 0.269. So we are in a very, very, very weak La Nina right now. Okay, not strong, not even moderate, very, very weak overall La Nina. And we have seen it kind of. So if we take a look at the past graphs, through May, through July, we had it rising up into almost El Nino territory, from La Nina and El Nino. We're finally starting to get that cooling now, as we were expecting in this fall. It's not steady, okay? I mean, it's kind of steady. We've had these ups, let's highlight it in a different color. We've had all these little up rebounds almost, and then we've also had those cool downs back into La Nina space since. So it's a steady technically I would say it's a steady decline. Yeah, let's draw it better. It's a steady decline, but it's still very rigorous, and so there's still some uncertainty to how low we get in our La Nina, and this will affect our winter season. Now getting into our monthly numerical model predictions for fall and getting into winter. Now, just letting you guys know, please subscribe, give me some support, show the love, share to all your friends as I'll continue having these exciting forecasts, and getting into winter, it'll be even more fun. So yeah. But another thing I do want to note, this video is kind of getting into long range details as well, so don't take it completely seriously. I'm just showing you some forecasts we're watching, some areas to watch, and some possible predictions I'm making getting farther into fall and then eventually into winter. So this is our month by month outlook. So September, currently, this is our September forecast, above average for the whole U.S. And I actually kind of do agree with that. There might be a couple cool shots over here, but besides that, I do agree with that above average. But the main reason I'm showing you this is, let's get into October. Stays above average for lots of the U.S. Average to cooler than average temperatures try to get into the Pacific Northwest. That resembles our La Nina. And then getting into November, we see cooler air continuing, our average temperatures continuing over in the Pacific Northwest, while heat and above average temperatures down here with this big ridge we're watching. Kind of, we know this as the southeast ridge. Getting into December, we continue to see blocking and a ridge over here and average temperatures on the western coast. Now, overall, you might see this. Overall, it doesn't look like anything much, right? You just see mainly just warmth. But let's start getting into January, okay? Well, January, heat kind of starts settling into the southwest. Average temperatures try to break out for areas of the mid-Atlantic. And then especially February, this resembles our La Nina pattern, okay? Jet stream coming like this. Cooler air really starting to powering into our northern tier of the U.S., while above average temperatures stay along kind of right here and south and east, okay? So I'm just showing you this as we are picking up on that La Nina signal. Some people are saying, oh, we're going to be ENSO neutral. Oh, we're not going to be as big of a La Nina. Now, I do think we're going to have a weak La Nina. I don't think we're going to have a strong. I don't think we're going to maybe have a moderate. But I'm just showing that we're still likely going to have a La Nina getting into late fall and winter season. And I mean, this is March. You have colder than average temperatures, or average temperatures right in here. Okay, kind of shifting towards the northern tier of the eastern U.S., while above average temperatures stay for the southern and western U.S. So I just wanted to show you guys some monthly forecasts. So there you have it, full update forecasts on temperatures, precipitation, uh, mainly just analysis and forecasting models, nothing really from the National Weather Service. But yeah, if you do want to see more official outlooks, go on to the Climate Prediction Center. I'll leave that link down in the description below. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.